We're back here in the basement for another Texas Rangers New York Yankees game. Trying to get over the walk-off grand slam last night from Home Run Holmes, Cardiac Clay, whatever you want to call it. Trying to get over that disaster. Sorry I got started late tonight, guys. We went out, did some things, and I didn't think I was going to do this game tonight. But bam, here I am doing the game. It's top of the fourth inning right now. Yankees are losing 2-0, and I don't know how they're losing 2-0. I don't know what happened. I wasn't here. But they're losing 2-0. There's 2 outs, and there's 0-2 on Volpe. So not much going on at the moment. Gunner, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Gunner's in the basement. Gunner, man, I didn't think I'd get this done. I didn't even think I'd get on tonight, man. But I figured we just got home, so I'm like, why not? Catch it from this game on. You know, why not? So here we are, man. I'm still setting up. OG cellar dweller Manav accounted for. What's going on, Manav? Yep. Technically game time decision, man. Game time decision. But here we are. And like I said, guys, I will be on tomorrow night for the Chiefs Ravens. And I'll be on for the Packers and Eagles on Friday. I'm still setting up and reading things while I'm going along here, so just bear with me. Hit that like button, guys. How's things going? There you go, Gunnar. Always appreciate it, man. I was going to post earlier that I actually might be able to make it on, and then I was like, no, don't do that because you know me, man. I'll post that and then not be able to make it on, but we made it on. We just got home, and I said, I'm up. I'm going to watch the game anyway, so I might as well come on. Told you guys I'm going to be more consistent this year, the rest of this year anyway, more consistent, doing more games, doing more stuff. So, and I got the footy playoffs this weekend, and I got the NFL games plus the Jets on Monday. Busy time in the basement. But it's good. It's all good. Just got done with my fantasy football draft tonight, Johnny and Gunner. Good for you, Manav. I don't do the fantasy. I don't do the fantasy sports. Lou is into the fantasy sports big time. Who did you get, Manav? Did you get anybody good? Did you get like Breece Hall? Garrett Wilson, I would think, would be a great fantasy draft pick this year. To think he got over 1,000 yards 2 years in a row with 4 different rotation of quarterbacks, you would think that he is going to blow it up with Rodgers this year. I think that would be a good one to take. Breece Hall, I mean, most analysts are saying he's like second behind McCaffrey. You got Patrick Mahomes. Nice. Wow, Manav, that's really good, man. That's like excellent. You should do really well with him. Ugh. This peach is becoming an acquired taste. I told you it's an 18 pack, so there's 6 of each flavor, and I didn't realize that, I told you guys the peach is like the plain donut in the donut pack. I'm just getting rid of them. I'm just drinking those first and getting rid of them first. Just get them out of it because I don't like wasting money, so I'm not going to not drink them. But that's where we're at with that. Got Patrick Mahomes. That's freaking nice, Manav. Really nice. Hey, Gunner, by the way, Dan, Thunder Dan, Bills King Mafia Dan, he messaged me on the live stream the other night. He commented after it was over and then commented on one of the other. He's known as Dan the Man Podcast now. Dan the Man Podcast is his name now. So he just popped up out of nowhere, man. So he commented, and I told him to join us in the live chats when he can. Gunner, man, it's so easy for me to drink this right now because I told you guys I got health issues, man. I got chronic fatigue, man. I can drink this, and when the game's over, I could still be asleep within a half an hour. I'm like caffeined up all day. I go to sleep very easily, man, believe it or not. There was a time in my life I wouldn't be drinking that this late. I'm telling you, it just keeps me at bay. Keeps me at bay. Rizzo, okay, we got the man out already. So it's 2-0. I got to find out how he gave up these 2 runs. I don't really know. The good news tonight, though, guys, the good news, if the Yankees, it's early, it's only bottom of the fourth. If the Yankees come back and we get in a save situation, Holmes will not be used tonight because he threw 25 pitches and a walk-off grand slam. Walk-off grand slam. I really have to dig deep in my brain to think the last time I ever saw a walk-off grand slam. I really have to dig deep because I don't remember ever seeing a walk-off grand slam. Not recently. I might have seen one in my life. I sure as hell don't remember when it was. My mom can't sleep well either, Johnny. She keeps getting up early in the morning. I sleep all right, but I get chronic fatigue if I don't drink caffeine a lot during the day. I'm a mess. I'm no good. So sipping on this, I just sip on it. I don't even drink the whole can. But like, what is it, 9:15? Come 10 o'clock, I'll stop drinking it if it's not gone already. But I promise you guys, it's crazy. But I can go to – this game's over at 11 o'clock or so, whatever. I'll be asleep within 40 minutes of the game going off. Who you guys got tomorrow, the Ravens or the Chiefs? Oh, come on. It was a comebacker to Stroman. I shouldn't talk. I mean, the ball's coming back at him at like 100 miles an hour. It tipped off the top of his glove. I won't say that should have been an out. Oh, he came up, clipped off the top of his glove. Can't do much about that. Yeah. Holmes needs to stay at home. You ain't kidding. A walk-off grand slam. I'm being dead serious. I don't remember if I've ever seen one. That might have been the first time in my life that I've ever seen one. Oh, there we go. Base hit. That's going to get the runner to third. Here we go. First and third, one out. See how that happens? Even though it's not really Stroman's fault, a comeback into the pitch is going to be 100 miles an hour. It's very fast from 60 feet away, 60.6 feet away to be exact. And but now see, that guy's going all the way to now it's first and third, one out. I'll be rooting for Baltimore. Yep, me too. KC is like the new Patriots, although I don't hate KC. I'm just tired of them, if that makes sense. I don't hate them. I'm just tired of them. I don't think they're going to three-peat either, by the way. There's too many other teams that'll be gunning for them, man. I really don't think they're going to three-peat. I really don't. I don't think they're going to three-peat. By the way, I don't know if this is true or not, but did Diggs say something like he has a quarterback that he can work with now? Did he say something along those lines, like a shot at Josh Allen? Like who would rather work with Stroud than Josh Allen? But I don't know. Did he say something? Because I heard along the lines, it was somewhere along the lines, like I said, I heard, so I don't want to say it's true. I don't know if it's true. You guys, Gunner, you're a Buffalo Bills fan. Did he say something to that effect, that he was happy to be working with a quarterback now, something along those lines, like kind of like a dig at pun intended at Josh? Did he not like working with Josh? So now they got second and third, one out. I don't like this. Oh, no, I've seen a couple of – let me rephrase, Gunner. Let me rephrase. I don't think I've ever seen a walk-off grand slam against my team, against the Yankees. That's let me rephrase. I've seen them too. But I'm talking about – I don't know if I've ever seen the Yankees lose on a walk-off grand slam. That's really the way I should have worded it. I don't think I ever have. I don't hate KC, but they keep beating Buffalo. And I know. How do you think I feel as a Yankee fan against the Astros? Always lose to them, and then the Minnesota Twins never beat us. It's weird. Come on, Stroman. Soft ground ball. 3-0, sacrifice out. So we got the second out, went to the short, but the infield was in, but Volpe had to dive for it. So that's not going to help there. I haven't heard anything like that. I try to avoid anything involving Diggs. Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point, right? What does it matter? He's not on the team anymore. He really is not on the team anymore. It's like people saying, hey, Zach had a good practice, or if Zach Wilson becomes a great quarterback, great. He's not on the team anymore. There's not, I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't care. He's not on the team. Like McCole Hardman, I think that was the funniest one. Mocking the Jets and doing all this crap and talking all this stuff when you caught a wide open pass and walked into the end zone. It wasn't some fantabulous pass that you caught and like you were in double coverage and made this try. You were wide open and you walked in the end zone. And by the way, the Chiefs were the first team to get rid of you last year. You did nothing for the Jets, and most of the guys on defense, including Sauce and company, like this guy was like the least hardworking guy he should have been the leader of the team. You have experience. You've won before. You should be the leader. They said the guy was a clown. The guy was a clown with the Jets. He did nothing. When he said, well, we didn't have anybody quarterbacks, so we didn't have anybody throwing you the ball. Well, you know what? That's true to a point. Now, it's 4-0 Texas. Maybe I shouldn't have turned this on. Maybe that's true to a point, but I mean, Garrett had over 1,000 yards receiving. Not saying that Hardman couldn't, but why weren't you starting? Couldn't even start. I think it was Sauce that said, dude, you didn't even start over rookies. Rookies were starting over you. So it's like, who cares? He's not on the Jets anymore. And you just won the Super Bowl, and your first few words out of your mouth is mocking the Jets. That's what you're thinking about? They did you a favor by releasing him. And you caught a wide open pass. Congratulations. You can catch a wide open pass. Another hit. Stroman is getting just tagged around, man. He dropped the ball. Great throw home by Soto, and he dropped the ball. 5. Maybe I shouldn't have turned this on. Maybe it's me. When I turned it on, it was 2-0. Now it's 5-0. Maybe it's me. Stroman is just getting banged around out there, man. Dude, that's like 4 hits in a row. All for runs. 5-0, bottom of the 4th. Punjab, another cellar dweller. You are officially a cellar dweller, Punjab. You've been showing up a lot now, man. You are officially a cellar dweller. What's going on, Punjab? Great to see you in here and supporting, man. Guys, hit the like button. The only time I've understood fan base celebrating with another team winning was Detroit celebrating after Stafford won the Super Bowl with the Rams. Well, yeah, I would understand that. Like, I still pull for Sam Darnold. I hope Darnold has a great year with the Vikings. I hope he does really well. I think he just landed on the wrong team at the wrong time, but it has been proven that he's going to be a solid journeyman quarterback as a backup. But I think the guy's a class act. I think he's hard working. He just doesn't have it to be a starter. But I still pull for him. I hope he does well. I do. I hope he does well. So I hear you. And if you're a Rams fan, a Lions fan, you should be happy for Matthew Stafford. He did everything under the sun to try to win in Detroit. You should be happy for him. I could see that. Like when Henrik Lundqvist left the Rangers and went to the Capitals, people forget this because he had the heart condition and he couldn't play for the Capitals in his last year. He never even suited up for a game. I hate the Capitals because they are a division rival. I would have had Lundqvist had a chance to win a ring with them. I would have gone for them. I sure would have. Not against my team, but had they made the Stanley Cup or something, but he never ended up never playing. People forget that Lundqvist technically was on the Capitals. Yankees score tonight. Do you really want to know, Punjab? 5-0 Texas. I just turned it on. I was late. When I came on, it was 2-0, and I guess my appearance made the Yankees give up 3 more runs. Manav, hi, Punjabi Kings fan from California. Manav is from Cali, yes. Baltimore's losing 8-1. Yeah, nobody wants this division. Nobody wants this division, guys. The Orioles don't want it. The Yankees don't want it. Neither team is taking advantage. Both teams are in horrendous slumps. Just doesn't make any sense. Let me check something else. And the Mets are about to sweep the Red Sox. How about them apples? So we got Scott Efros in right now. Now, if the Yankees can miraculously pull a comeback, then we'll see what happens. Drop the like. Thank you, sir. Eagles play on Friday. I will be doing the Eagles game and the Ravens-Chiefs game tomorrow, Punjab. I'm doing both. And I'm doing Monday night. Of course I'm doing Monday night Jets Niners. But, yeah, I'm going to be doing the others, man. I'm going to be pretty busy this weekend, guys. I told you, basement is balling. I'm going to be consistent. A lot coming up. Knicks, Yankees. Yankees are already here. Knicks, Rangers, Jets. I'm excited about all of my teams for once. I don't expect – some teams I expect to go further. I expect the Rangers to go all the way this year because they're kind of like the Buffalo Bills going to the Rangers in the fact that they've had the team to do it. They've had the pieces. They've had the coaching. They've had the teams to win and at least make the Stanley Cup, just like the Bills had the team to at least make the Super Bowl. Neither of our teams have done it, and we have everything we need. We can't say the Bills I know are rebuilding now, but I'm talking about when they had everything the past couple of years, and both of our teams didn't make it for whatever reason. So the Rangers I expect to make the Stanley Cup. They don't need anything. Maybe a little tinkering here and there, but you know what I mean. There's no major things that they need. Goodness gracious, we even have a great Hall of Fame backup goalie, Jonathan Quick. Most wins as a United States-born goalie. The most wins as a U.S.-born goalie. Of U.S.-born goalies. He's got three rings. He started in 2 of them. We're good. The Knicks, I would not be surprised if the Knicks go to the finals. The Knicks got a team and they can challenge the Celtics. They really can. The Jets, I won't say Super Bowl, but Jets are going to go deep into playoffs if they stay healthy. I don't see why they won't. And the Yankees, I really don't, they're not going to win the World Series. They're just not showing me enough. And I'm not talking about slumps. They're pitching. We're having rough times with teams with losing records. It's just, it seems like we go through this every year, guys. Every year we start out hot in April and May, and then we hit a little bit, which every team does, a little bit of a losing streak, and then we stay on that losing streak for a month and a half. Then we can't score runs. Every team goes through it, but we seem to stay in it. That is what is so bothering. Look at this walk. So we got first and second. Now this is the bottom of the fourth. It's been going on for 25 minutes. Sorry, Yankees. It was me. The minute I turned this on, this is what's happening. I think the Jets can beat the 49ers. You know what's funny is I heard Dan Orlovsky ask Dan Patrick, a healthy Jets team for the people that are mocking the Jets and saying they're going to win even healthy 6 to 8 games. Like that's really poor, really, really poor. Poor analysis. Orlovsky asked Dan Patrick, what is it about this team that makes them not good? What area makes the Jets not good? What area makes a healthy Jets team not make the playoffs? It's a pretty hard question to answer. Besides just want to being a troll and hating on them, there's nothing to say. They won 7 games last year with basically no offense. They still won 7. So a healthy Jets team with all these new weapons on there now, they're going to win 6 to 8? That's ridiculous. What makes this team bad? It's a hard question to answer. Besides just saying, I just don't want to see them win. Because that's really what it comes down to. Outside of saying, well, if these guys get injured, I'm talking healthy. Well, what are the odds they're going to be healthy? I don't know. What are the odds anybody's going to be healthy? We're finally out of the inning. We gave up 3 runs that inning. It's 5-0 Texas. We got Verdugo, Trevino, and Glaber coming up. Double play Gley. No, he has been batting well lately, though. Manav, have they reached an agreement with ESPN and ABC, with Disney? I don't know. ESPN and ABC collab. I don't know if they've reached one with Disney, though, Manav. I don't know. Gunnar, hopefully Floyd doesn't end Rodgers' season again. He's going to be fine. And again, Gunnar, you know how good Tyrod Taylor is. The Jets would still be fine with Tyrod, and you know it. Plus, Clay Holmes can't close a game. Oh, my gosh, Punjab, that was awful. Walk-off grand slam. Whew. Woo! So even if we had the 4-1 lead, like we were all annoyed that he gave, like the previous reliever gave up the 2 runs, which was Cousins. Even if it was 4-1, we didn't give up those runs. A walk-off grand slam still would have won it for Texas. Crazy. Gunner, Rangers are a well-built team. They just need to put it all together in the playoffs. Igor will always give you a chance. 2.3 goals against average in the playoffs last season. Right. 2.34 goals against average in the playoffs. And you would think, by the way people talk about him being overrated, you would think the guy had like a 4 GAA and an 800-something save percentage. He was over like a 910 save percentage, right, in the playoffs, give or take. And 2.34 goals against average. He was getting peppered. He was getting peppered in that Florida series. Our stars disappeared. My favorites, Kreider, Mika, and Panarin, they disappeared in the Florida series. They were well present for Washington. They were well present for Carolina series. They disappeared. They were just taken out. Florida made sure the rest of you guys, you can try to beat us because we're taking these guys out of the picture, and they did. They did. I mean, Panarin was 1 goal shy of 50-goal season. Kreider's a monster in front of the net. He can tip in. He can misdirect any puck coming at him. He's dangerous. And Mika's got a hell of a slap shot, man. I mean, like these are 3 top-end guys. Here's Verdugo, who has been hitting lately until I just said that and jinxed it. He grounds out the second. 1 out. He is arguably the worst closer in the league, and I'll tell you why. People say, well, he's got a 2.5 ERA, give or take. I'm like, yeah, because he gives up, well, it's more than that now, but because he usually gives up the 1 run that we're ahead on. He blows that lead, and then he usually goes out of the game. He doesn't have a chance to be in there long to have the ERA worse. He has 11 blown saves. That's the most in the league. Brad, another cellar dweller accounted for. Another Ozzy in the base. What's up, Brad? Brad, what's going on, man? I will be doing footy playoffs. I know you guys didn't see me all season, but I will be doing footy playoff games. I'm watching. I have to record it because it's on when I'll be sleeping, but I'll be recording the Port Adelaide versus Geelong tomorrow. I'm going to record it. I'm going to get up in the morning and watch it, and I'll review it. And the Lions and the Hawks get series 2, and Hawks are playing the Bulldogs. I'll be doing that. And the Lions and the Blues. So, and I'll be doing football games tonight. I'm going to be busy this weekend. Doing well, though, Brad. 92% save percentage, I believe. Yeah, it was something like that. It's crazy. But we didn't score for him. Same problem Lundqvist had. Standing on his head, and nobody wants to score for him. You know, when you're getting shot after shot on you, eventually one of them's going to go in. Schnazzy, Schnoozy, another cellar dweller accounted for. You know now. I told you that was going to be your name now. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, Snazzy. Happy birthday, brother. That's great. I'm glad I didn't bet on the Yankees to win when I saw Stroman was pitching. I was like, no thanks. Oh, man, I came in here in the 4th inning. So I didn't know how they were down 2-0. So I'm at fault for the next 3 runs because when I sat down, it was like a dam broke open. Because they got killed after that. It was my fault. I shouldn't have turned the game on. Shouldn't have turned it on. My fault, guys. 5-0 Texas, top of the 5th inning. First 2 batters are already out. And Glaber's up with 2 strikes. Brad, I'll be at the Hawks-Dogs game tomorrow night. Nice. The Hawks are scary, man. What a turnaround this year. Hawks are looking good, Brad. I have been following. I know I haven't done much on here, but I have been following. The Hawks could do it. I still think Port Adelaide is a team you can't forget about, man. I think they're going to beat Geelong tomorrow. Smash that like button. Yes, sir. Happy birthday, man. That is awesome. 25. Holy crap, man. I'm old. I need Mr. Marine and Truba in here so I don't feel old because they're older than me. Bruin, another OG cellar dweller accounted for. Bruin's in the basement. As I was saying before, Bruin, To everybody else, I got a late start. Didn't think I'd be on tonight. Rock and I went out, and I got back and said, I'm going on. I just didn't want to commit to it and then not show up. But we're here, and I'm the reason they scored 3 more runs. Up 3-2, Glaber. Full count on Glaber. 2 outs, nobody on. Peso, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Peso's in the basement. What's going on, Peso? Brad, there's no better place in the basement. Happy birthday, Snazzy. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated, man. Oh, Glaber walks. We're going to get Juan Soto up. Can we get a 2-run home run? This is what I'm talking about, man. This is what we have to rely on. This is what we have to rely on, Soto and Judge. And if they have a slump, how can any Yankee fans be mad at Soto and Judge? Because some people are like, hey, these guys aren't hitting. Dude, without them, where would this team be without Soto and Judge? We'd be like down by Toronto and Tampa Bay. I'm not kidding you, because they carried this team for a long time. It's very hard. It's very hard to point fingers at guys in a sport where you know you're going to hit moments where you're not going to be hitting. They sure are scary, Johnny. I'd love to see them go all the way. I'm going for my Lions, Brad, as you know. I'm going for my Lions. Cameron and the boys, I'm going for. But if they get knocked out, I am going to go for the Hawks. I'm going to go for the Hawks if they get knocked out. Soto! 2-run home run. Soto. Boom, 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 boom. 5-2 now. 5-2. Soto with the 2-run homer. Thank you. Dez, what's going on, Dez? What's happening, Dez? Good seeing you in here again. Great. That was awesome. Awesome stuff. Great dinner tonight, Dez. Good seeing you in here. You made it, Dez. You made it. Love you too. And hey, Dwellers, doing good. How about you guys? Brad, Peso, Bruin, everybody saying what's up to each other. And good night, Dez. Sleep well. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Gunnar, Soto, and Judge are your entire offense. Right. Now, here's Judge. Can he, how dare Yankee fans get mad at those two guys for not hitting lately? Like, there's Judge hasn't hit a home run in 7 games. That was going into yesterday. So it would be 8 games going into today. Okay. He has 51 on the season and 124 RBIs. And he's hitting 332, give or take. I mean, sorry. Can't hit it. I mean, give me a break. Soto hit an opposite field home run, too. That's pretty impressive. You know how fans are, Gunnar. We talked about this. Josh Allen and Igor are overrated. Dez, and more like Snazzy, not Schnazzy. I know he's never going to – it's his birthday today, Dez. He turned 25. Snazzy's birthday today. Snazzy's got to be laughing because now his name is just going to be forever chopped up. But who cares? He's a cellar dweller and he's important to the basement. That's what I'm talking about. Soto, amen, Snazzy, amen. Doing well, Peso. Good. Thanks for asking. All right, man. We got some peeps in here tonight. I know, and I said I wasn't going to be on. So Mr. Marine says that he doesn't get the notifications. I hope he checks in. And Trouba, we haven't seen now in a little while. Maybe he'll pop up with the Rangers. Rangers are on in 1 month. 1 month the Rangers are on. Can you believe that? And then the Knicks are on in like 5 weeks. October 25th, I think. And they start against the Celtics. I think it's October 25th. I'm just reading something, guys. Sorry. All right, we're good. No news on the Hassan Reddick front, at least not at this moment. But again, they did say that Hassan was out signing Jets helmets today and wearing Jets T-shirt, and that the Jets were moving contracts around and freeing up cap space. So maybe something is in the works. because it did say he was at a charity event today, freely signing Jets helmets, and he had Jets paraphernalia on. So, I mean, I don't know. They restructured a couple of contracts. They freed up $8 million more in cap space. They're probably working on a deal. I mean, what else are you going to do? But I don't know now if he's going to be ready for Sunday or not. And you know what? If he isn't, he isn't. Again, as I said yesterday, right? Efros is still on the mound, bottom of the fifth inning. As I said yesterday, how can you miss somebody that you don't know? There's no team disarray. There's nobody in the team that's saying, oh, man, they're doing my boy wrong or they're doing this guy wrong. And I'm pissed at the coach or the management because they're not helping out my guy. Nobody knows him. So there's not a split locker room over it. They all they ever say, any Jet interview about him is, yeah, Hassan Reddick's a great player. Can't wait till he gets here. That's it. What else can you say? So it hasn't really affected the team. Do they need him? Yeah. It would be great to have him out there, of course. He's had double-digit sacks since 2020. But that's why I begged the question yesterday, and I'll bring it up again today. Why is this man traded so much? He's never been franchise tagged. He had 12 and a half sacks in 2020 for the Cardinals. 16 and 11 for the Eagles, and I think he had like 12 or 12 or more for the Panthers. He signed a one-year deal with the Panthers, and then the Eagles didn't want to give him an extension. So what's going on? Why is this guy bouncing around so much? Most edge rushers or players of this caliber, teams don't let guys like this walk. So I don't know. And again, I can't wait till he's ready to go on the team. I want him. I mean, we have him. I want him playing. Bounce back to Efros. 1 out. Bottom of the fifth, 1 out. Oh, Snaz, you should know we're ball breakers in here. And you're from New York. You're from Long Island. You should be used to this. You already know. Your name is going to be the joke. It's like Gunner with Nickelback and Bruin messing me up yesterday with all his Bruin was really messing me up yesterday on like 3 or 4 different things. But yeah, everybody's got something going on in here. Even me. That's why I say we're in the basement, man. It's as low as you go. So yeah, you growing up not far from where I grew up, you should be used to ball breaking. Anything that happens gets exposed, we're on it. Grounded to Glaber, 2 outs. There we go. Gunner, it's like when a goalie saves 50 out of 51 shots, but yell at him for letting in that 1 goal. Amen. That's right. That's right. That's what makes them overrated. Right. Josh Allen can never win in the playoffs. Okay, but he's throwing right to guys in their hands and they're dropping the ball. But that's Allen's fault. Volt, another cellar dweller in Ozzy accounted for. Volt's in the basement. What's going on, Volt? What's happening, man? Good to see you in here, brother. Welcome back. Yep. Manav, do you like watching cricket? Manav is our cricket ambassador. He is our cricket ambassador in the basement. Manav is. Volt, yes, I do like cricket. Used to play. Oh, wow. There you go, Manav. You got it. Volt used to play. You guys should have a lot to talk about. Snaz, oh, you're used to it. Yeah, you should be, man, growing up at Lindenhurst. I know where you're at. Did you check your DM, Johnny? I did not, Bruin. I did not. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it until you just mentioned it. See, I never lied to you guys. I told you I completely forgot. I'll check it. I'll check it, Bruin. I promise. Here, I'll even write it down. I do look at my list before I get on, so I do. That's all I remember. DM from Bruin. There you go. I put it there. I do. I look at that before I get on. All right, 3 up, 3 down. Now we got Jazz, Stanton, and Rizzo. Guys, we have a team that can come back. And the best thing about it is if we take the lead, Holmes will not be closing the game. Holmes will not be used tonight. So like David Cohn just said, I would put Tommy Kahnle. He's the most experienced reliever in the bullpen. I would put him out there to save. He would be at the top of the list. Tommy Kahnle is a very good reliever. He's been in the league a long time. That's the guy you put in there to close. Maybe you should put him in there all the time to close. I don't see how Holmes can keep his closing position. I'll tell you what, Aaron Boone gives – I mean, he gives multiple chances to players, man. I mean, he's got to be playing – he's got to be playing favorites. Like, how long is he going to keep pushing DJ? Maybe he'll go back. What do you expect out of DJ every game? The guy's hitting barely over the Mendoza line, which is 200 for those that don't know. He's almost 80 games back from his injury. Maybe this is what he is now at 36 years old. Maybe this is what he is now. He hasn't really been right since he hurt his foot 2 years ago. So, but he keeps playing them. If it's for defense, then put him in later in the game. But again, you guys know who I'm following up with. Cabrera. Anyway, that's our future utility guy anyway. I hope one day we can play cricket together, Vault Footy. Schnazzy, I'm playing NBA 2K25. It's pretty sick. That's out already. I got to get that. Not as good as I used to be. Oh, Brad. Perfect. Manav, you have got some cricket. You have got some cricket-educated basement dwellers to talk to, Manav. That is awesome. I'm happy for you. Let me take a look at this, Bruin. Why write it down when I can just look at it now? All right, Jazz is up. Now, we got other guys I can finally hit. Jazz has been a spark plug. I got to stop talking when these guys are batting. I'll praise them when they're not batting because the minute I do that, their next swing is an out. Oh, Bruin, I see it. You sent me over the New York Rangers size 52, fits like size 54 Adidas Team Classics. $80 for that? That's it? Oh, Bruin, thanks for this, man. I'm going to check this out. Oh, that's perfect. The season's coming up, man. Come on, Stanton. Let's go. We already got one out. That's awesome, man. Thanks for sending that over, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. Top of the sixth inning, one out, 2-2 on Stanton right now. 5-2 Texas. 5-2 Texas. Manav, yeah, he was a good batter. Please pray for my aunt in Chicago. She's having some surgery this month. I would appreciate that, guys. You got it, Manav. We'll keep her in our thoughts and prayers. And right here in the basement, you keep letting us, keep informing us how that's going for her. Thoughts are with you and your family, Manav, from Volt. Yes, definitely, Manav. We're always looking out for each other in the basement, brother. So, yeah, best of wishes and prayers to your aunt, and hope she comes through successfully, brother. Here's Rizzo with 2 outs. We are doing nothing we just got a 2-run home run, but I'm just saying. You got it, Manav. We're all looking out for it, brother. That's it, Manav. That's what the basement's all about, buddy. You got it, man. We're all here for each other. We're all here for laughs and jokes and fun, talking crap. But real life is going on out there, man. Real life is going on. Oh, a lot of concussions. I don't know much about cricket. I tried. I just can't. It's just not for me. I respect everybody that's passionate about the sports that they're into. I just had a hard time getting into it. Like footy, I love. Australia, the AFL, love it. Absolutely love it. And I am going to be doing the playoffs, Volt. I am going to be doing the playoffs. I'm recording the Power in Geelong. I'm recording the game. I'll be watching that, and I'll do a review of that. The Hawks and the Dogs, I'll do a review of that. And the Lions, of course, and the Blues. Those are the main 3 that I'm focused on this weekend because I'm doing NFL games also this weekend. They're probably going to squeeze in an afternoon Yankee game here or there. So it's going to be busy basement time. So I got to get up tomorrow morning. When I wake up, I'm turning the power. I'm going to turn on my recording of the Power in Geelong. I'm not going to look at my phone. Yeah, we get those things over here too, Volt, man. Guys with concussions, especially in football. I mean, you're not going to last very long. And guys that continuously get them, you're just not going to last very long. You can't even take much of a hit anymore. We've had plenty of guys. Wayne Corbett was one of my favorite New York Jets players. That guy suffered massive concussions. He'd always cut across the middle with no fear. And he suffered massive concussions. Brad. Oh, yeah, Brad. Mr. Marine has been in here. He's been in here on a daily basis. For some reason, he doesn't get notifications when I'm on. But I said yesterday, Brad, that I wasn't going to be on today. Rock and I went out to dinner, so I didn't think I'd be back in time. So I told everybody yesterday I wasn't going to be on. And then we got home, and it was only like the fourth inning. So I said, I'm going to go on. I just didn't want to commit to it and then not show up. I don't like doing that to you guys. And it happens from time to time, but I try not to let that happen. Concussions have ended many careers. Yes, sir. Rizzo struck out. So we had 3 up, 3 down that inning, guys. Going to the 7th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. 5-2 lead. Yankees we only have 3 hits. 3. It's insane. There you are, Brad. You called. He came. You sent out the bat signal. He came. OG of OG, cellar dweller, Mr. Marine in the basement. Marines representing the basement. What's going on, Mr. Marine? Back on YouTube, possible Yankees horror. This team is pathetic. I know. I was just telling the guys, I came here in the 4th inning. When Rock and I got home from dinner, Mr. Marine, I got here. It was like the 4th inning, and it was 2-0 Texas. And I sat down here, and the first time I watched Texas bat, it was 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't have turned this on. But I wanted to see you guys, man. I told you I'm going to be consistent Johnny now in the basement. Consistency in the basement. This team is pathetic. And you know what, Mr. Marine? If we can get a lead, the only good news I can tell you is Holmes will not be closing if we get a lead tonight. If. We still got time. Yep. Mr. Marine, Brad was literally just asking for you. You could see it in the chat. You jumped in and 2 up from that. He was asking if I heard from you. It's like, yeah, Mr. Marine has been a regular, absolute regular in here every day. So we'd like to see Trouba in here soon. I will be on tomorrow night, guys, for the 1,000th time. I will be on tomorrow night for the opening of the NFL season, Ravens-Chiefs. Vault, Danny Frawley saying killed the legend who sadly took his own life due to CTE, only 5 years. Hey, man, we've had those guys too. That is so sad. That's so sad, Vault. We've had those guys too, man. Junior Seau, Dave Duerson are the first 2 guys that come to mind that did that. Dave Duerson was a great safety, longtime safety, played for the 85 Bears. And Junior Seau, of course, Hall of Fame linebacker. Great linebacker, man. But it's not about the football, man. It's those CTEs, man. These guys took their own life. Marines, yep. Brad, how's life treating you? Yep, very well, thanks. Bruin, man, thanks for that jersey, man. Thanks for the DM, man. Were you in here when I said I looked at it? I said, why am I writing it down? I could just look at it. Well, I'm sorry, guys. Let me look at one thing here. Aaron Hernandez had CTE. Oh, he had a lot of other problems besides that. Yep, he sure did, Brad. What's scarier, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, or Clay? That was good, Gunner. That was good. That was a good one, Gunner. I like that one. I like that one, man. That was a good one. Oh, that was good. You nailed it with that one. Had a lot more issues than CTE. You're damn right. Clay Holmes closing. Manav, you nailed it. That might be the scariest thing ever. Yep. And I got to break those guys out, too. So we gave up another double. First guy got out, and now Texas got a double. How about that, guys? It's coming to that time of year now, right? Jason and Freddie bobbleheads. How about that? There's solar bobbleheads, too, so out in the light. There's solar bobbleheads. That glare is killing it, but you guys get the point. All right? How's that? Huh, hold on. Just crazy to think only 20 or so years ago a player would be knocked out and in many cases sent back on the field later in the game. Oh, yeah. And they had doctors that would just send them back out. Different time. Different time. That was a different time. Yeah, that was crazy. Phillip Rivers once played with both ACLs torn. Cool. Yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, I like bobbleheads, man. I don't have tons of them, but I do like getting. I just need a Michael Myers one. I don't have that one. And now I'm going to have to get a Clay Holmes one like that. Like I've showed you guys the Christine car. Showing you the Christine car, right? The tinted window version, right? I mean, I don't know. These are like my new vices, man. I like getting bobbleheads and walked another batter. Here we go again, guys. We get the bottom of the sixth, first and second. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I mean, that's Christine's. Christine was a great movie, but the book was so much better. The book was so much better, but I do like the movie. I do like the movie because it's just a classic. But the book was by far better, which is usually the case. Like The Shining, the book was not only better, it was a whole different version besides the premise of the home, the caretaker, and his family. The book was completely different than the movie. And that's why the movie is called Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. It was his take on the same type of premise, but he went in another direction. And Stephen King gets paid for that stuff. Isn't that cool? You have to get paid a man to use his idea, and you can put your own spin on it. John Carpenter's Christine, same thing. He put his own spin on the car for the movie, but it's Stephen King's book. It's really cool. He almost won that game, too. Wasn't that the game where Brady was intercepted, but the guy immediately fumbled? But yes, that was the game. Oh, that was the game. Yep, that was the one. You nailed it, Gunner. Yeah, Hernandez just never – I mean, the thing that they had Gronkowski and Hernandez at one time, but it's hard to praise, like, it's hard to praise a guy like that. It's like OJ when he was alive, like they'd have the Hall of Fame running backs that were still alive, like from back then, and he never got invited to that stuff. And as a running back, OJ was amazing as a running back. He was doing things that running backs weren't doing back then. And his first 2 or 3 years, he was terrible. His first 2 or 3 years, he was not that good. They actually tried to make him a wide receiver at one point. But He was having 100 yards in games by halftime the year he got over 2,000 yards. He had 1,000 yards by midseason that year. And then Eric Dickerson, of course, broke his record. Come on. Here we go again with bases loaded. What is going on with the Yankees and not being able to field ground balls? This is like the third game in a row we've watched this garbage. The ball went right back to the pitcher, and he couldn't field it. And, of course, it bobbles off his glove, and then everybody's looking around, and the guy's safe. Now it's bases loaded with one out. I said, maybe I shouldn't have turned this on. Come on. And it wasn't hit hard. He might have got him if they challenge it. They're not going to. That was pathetic. Whew. Mr. Marine, I just finished watching 7. Oh, man, that's a classic. Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. 30, Kevin Spacey. Oh, that guy. Talking about people with issues. It's another one. That guy's another one. Yankee Kyle, another cellar dweller accounted for. Yankee Kyle in the basement. What's going on, Kyle? Good to see you in here, brother, man. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it, man, as always. As always, hit the like button, guys. Yep, that's cool, man. What's going on, Yankee? How you doing? 2,000 yards in 14 games. Yes, sir. Yep. Imagine that. If you had 16. That was always my argument with Walter Payton. His first 3 seasons were 14-game seasons. Walter Payton only missed 1 game in his whole career. 1 game. That's it. And that was in his rookie year, and the coach held him out. It wasn't even due to injury. And that was in an era when guys could take your head off. When there was no penalties, no CTEs, no fantasy football to protect, none of that stuff. And he played on bad Bears teams. He played on a lot of bad Bears teams. He had 1,800 yards, I know, in I think his second year he had 1,800 yards rushing in a 14-game season. It's incredible. It's insane. Like my man Curtis Martin, 14,000 yards in 11 seasons. But, yeah, can you imagine if they had the extra games in 16? Right, exactly. Everybody's saying what's up to Kyle. Baltimore lost 8-1 to the White Sox. Thank goodness. The Yankees and the Orioles, nobody wants this division. Yankee Johnny, I'm good, brother. Let's start winning starting this weekend. You ain't kidding, man. This is getting really, really irritating, Kyle. The Yankees are struggling. So bases loaded, 1 out. And our first pitch is in the dirt. Mark Leiter, this guy has been a train wreck. 14 games with the Yankees since coming over from the Cubs. He has a 6 ERA with us. 6.8 in 14 games. 6 ERA. And that's what we traded for. And the other guy we traded for, De Los Santos, he's already gone because he gave up 7 runs to the White Sox. 1-1. 7 runs to the White Sox. Mark Leiter apparently was pretty good on the Cubs, but going from the Cubs to the Yankees is a different story. Different story. So here we are on the bottom of the 6th. But I'll tell you what, these Texas at-bats are long. They're long half innings. And when we come up, you forget the Yankees even batted. Another one in the dirt. 2-1. This is a joke, man. This is a joke. Going to see Reagan movie tomorrow. I heard it was good. He was my favorite president. He's a lot of people's favorite president. That's back when both parties weren't arguing and fighting with each other, man. A lot of people liked him. Uh-oh, that's a bases clearing. I'm telling you, that's going to clear bases. That's all the way in the far corner. 7-2, second and third. Second and third now, 7-2. Guys, this game's a joke. This game is a joke. What an embarrassment. And I guarantee you we're going to get up and do nothing. Why? Because Soto and Judge aren't up next inning, or they might be. Well, he tagged that right down the line. Mark Leiter needs to go too. Good night, Johnny and the other dwellers. Good night, Manav. The Yankees told you a good bedtime story. You should be able to go to sleep pretty well because this game is terrible. Still one out, second and third. Look, when the Texas Rangers bat, these are like 20-minute innings. This is a joke. And it's second and third, so there's not even a chance for a double play here. Yeah, I don't have I'm not big into politics either, man. I don't have a favorite president one way or the other. I'm not big into politics. I always tell people I'm a 4 decades New York Jets fan. That's all the ugliness I can handle. Pathetic, Johnny. They don't deserve to make the playoffs. This team will be done fast. Yeah, this is awful. Why do we DFA'd De Los Santos? We DFA'd him. We had him in 2 weeks. We gave up a draft pick for him. 2 weeks after we got him, he was already gone. Mark Leiter should be on his way out the door too. This guy is trash. We're getting spanked today. Spanked. In a game where we wouldn't have had Holmes closing had we had the lead. Because look at this wild pitch. Another guy running home. 8-2 Texas. Wild pitch. I mean, come on. I'm telling you what, guys, I won't be staying up all night for this garbage. Walk, Soto, and Judge, and the rest will. You know what's funny? Gunner, you mentioned that, right? And you know that's exactly. The Mets swept the Yankees this year, 4 games. 2 in June, 2 in July. The Mets swept the Yankees all 4. You know why? Because they walked Judge. They intentionally walked Judge and said, let the rest of your team beat us. They did what the Pistons did to Michael Jordan. We're going to take this guy out of the picture and see if the rest of your team can beat us. And we didn't. Yankees bullpen have allowed 18 earned runs in the last 4 games. Our bullpen, I'll repeat that. Our bullpen has allowed 18 runs in the last 4 games, and they were all earned. 18 earned runs in the last 4 games. Did I tell you guys that the Yankees gave up 18 earned runs in the last 4 games? Thank goodness we're doing football tomorrow. And you know what's nice about tomorrow? We're doing a game with 2 teams that nobody cares about. I don't mean the league. I mean just us. I'm not a fan of the Ravens or the Chiefs. I'll be going for the Ravens, but it won't be like, what the hell's going on and why aren't we? It'll just be like, a game that we can relax. It's a stress-free game because it has nothing to do with the teams that I go for. But I'm going to do the game anyway because it's opening game for the NFL. And I can sit here stress-free. Stress-free. And Friday night when I do the Eagles and Packers. Neither one of those teams has anything to do with my team. So, again, stress-free game. This is a disaster. We're not coming back. This team is such a joke. You're not kidding, Bruin. Lamario, how did you sneak in here? I missed you, man. Lamario, another cellar dweller accounted for. What's going on, man? Are we going to really get swept by Texas? No, we beat them the first game. Didn't we beat them the first game? I don't even remember. I think we did, though. I think we beat them the first game, Lamario. I got to check now. Isn't that sad? We're on here with Yankee fans, and I got to check because it feels like we're losing every day. I'm pretty sure we beat them the first game, though. Yeah, we did. We beat them 8-4. That was on Monday. That's like an eternity ago. That was 2 days ago. I couldn't remember. Oh, that's right, because the game before that, we lost 14-7 to the Cardinals. That's why it feels like we're losing all the time. This is a disgrace. This is horrible. Yep, you got that right, Lamario. Mr. Marine, Gunner, different time when Reagan was president. It was different era. We can all afford everything back in the 80s. Today, no one can afford anything. Dozen eggs in New York is $14. That I know. It's funny because everything has gone up except people's pay, Mr. Marine. People's pay hasn't gone up. That's why the old oh my gosh, are we getting out of the inning? Oh, we're out of the inning. That was like a half an hour. I'm telling you now, guys, 11 o'clock is my cutoff, especially if they're getting spanked. I got a busy basement day tomorrow. I got to get up, watch the footy playoffs, do a review on that, and then I got to prepare for the game tomorrow night. Doing a lot of things, man. We are all in the basement. What's earned runs mean? An earned run means it wasn't run on an error. It wasn't done by an error. They were all earned runs, meaning there was no errors committed, Gunner. So let's say there was a guy on third or whatever, and a guy committed an error throwing to first base or throwing home, something like that. They were earned runs. Everything is expensive nowadays. Why is still living at home? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with living at home. Nothing. When I was growing up, everybody wanted to get out of their homes because that's back when everybody wanted, the house, the family for, 2 kids, picket fence, the whole fantasy story there, because everybody could afford that then. Nobody can afford that now. I think there's a commercial out there right now that shows the grandfather went to college, got a job, paid off his home, no debt. Then his son did the same thing, went to college, got a degree, paid off his house, no debt. Then they show the next generation took out all these loans to get through college, lived in an apartment, couldn't afford to pay the stuff back. Everything was wrong, even though they were still doing, the right things. Crazy. Oh, yeah, we won the first game, but even that game was close. We forget, Lamario, because we've been losing so much. We lost Saturday and Sunday to the Cardinals. We won Monday against Texas, and then we lost yesterday on the walk-off grand slam, and now we're getting our asses kicked again. Who can blame us for getting that? We actually won in the past few days. Who can blame us for forgetting that? Volpe's leading off, top of the 7th inning. Volpe is a guy, listen, the jury's still out for me if I like this kid or not. The jury is out for me on this kid. I have not drawn my conclusion on him yet of what I think about him. He's too inconsistent. I know he got the Gold Glove last year. He's too inconsistent at the plate for me. It's all or nothing with him. And those streaks happen very quickly. I don't know what to think of this kid. I don't dislike him, but I don't love him either. Well, jury's still out for me on him, so I won't rip on him too much. Gunner, it works out. My parents work during the day. I work second shift, so I'm home all day to take care of our dogs and run errands if need be. So you're not really in the house at the same time. That's what makes it even easier, Gunner. You guys aren't in the house at the same time, so you're not annoying to them because when they're home, you're at work, and when you're home, they're at work. So it works out. Bruins sports were better in the 80s, too. I'll agree with you there because I grew up in the 80s, and that was my era, man. And there wasn't all this hype on all this other stuff. And, yes, I'm sorry. I know fantasy's huge, and I know I am in the small percentile. But to me, fantasy killed my favorite sport. Fantasy killed football. People tell me, no way, because we can do this, we can do that. People don't go for teams anymore. They go for players. I cannot watch. Come on, up, ground out. I cannot watch, let's say, the Dolphins are playing the Jets, right? Man, I want the Jets to win, but I hope Tua has a great game because I have Tua in my fantasy, so I got to go for Tua when he's playing, but I really still want my Jets to win. I can't watch games like that, and I won't. And now you know that there's flags and things thrown to protect players, and fantasy does have a part of it, whether they admit it or not. Fantasy does play a part in that. It definitely does. If the NFL could have it, I guarantee you wouldn't even be allowed to hit the quarterback. It'd be like a 2-hand touch. That's why Mike White could get folded like a lawn chair against the Buffalo Bills. Could you imagine that Matt Milano hit if he had hit Mahomes or Brady or even Herbert? If he even hit Justin Herbert like that, there would be flags and fines and all that. Verdugo gets a hit. There we go. Verdugo gets a hit. He's on base. Can you imagine that? Mike White got folded like a lawn chair, and it was a legal hit. It was legal. I have no problem with no flags being thrown. But it goes to show you who's important to the league and who's not. Mike White is not important. He's not important, period. He's not important. If someone hit Mahomes like that, there would be lawsuits. I'm exaggerating, but probably not by a lot. Trevino. I don't know why Austin Wells isn't playing. Why is Trevino getting a lot of time? Listen, we're having a problem hitting right now. Trevino is a better defensive catcher than Wells right now. He's one of the better ones in the league. I know that. Why, when we need hitting, is Wells not playing more? That's what's important right now because Wells is a very good catcher anyway. If you want him for defensive purposes, and put Trevino in late in the game if we don't need the runs. We need Wells' bat. Mr. Marine, Yankees should be ashamed of themselves. Amen. Johnny, this team may not make the playoffs. No, they're going to make the playoffs, Mr. Marine. They'll make the playoffs. They'd have to really melt down to not make it. But you know what's funny, Mr. Marine? The Yankees aren't the only ones. They aren't the only ones doing this. The Baltimore Orioles could have run away with this division already. They don't want to win either. The Orioles, the Yankees, the Braves have had tons of injuries. The Phillies have had these massively bad streaks this year too. No leading team really seems to want to take off with their divisions. Trevino struck out, so now we got 2 outs. 80s was the best. It was. Football, basketball, hockey, baseball. Baseball to me hasn't changed too much, but they had more base stealing back then. You didn't see the shift. You know why? Because people could bunt. Now teams are home run or nothing. Most teams are home run or nothing. Glaber rounds out, and there's the Yankees inning. Texas is coming up the bottom of the 7th. What time is it? 10:20? They'll probably have another half an hour of batting. Gunnar, most of my conversation with my mom are saying hi as I'm leaving for work. But you realize, Gunnar, that benefits them also. You're a good dude. I met you. You're a good guy, man. You're a really good guy. You're a hard worker. But it benefits them also because you're going to work and they're home. So you're not in their way. So that's good, Gunnar. That's good. And you get along with your parents. That makes it even better. It makes it even better when you get along with your parents, man. It makes it even better. Yeah, Mr. Marine, I don't do that either, man. How can you do it? I went over one of my friend's house who's a diehard Dolphin fan. It's when I lived in Florida for the short time we were there. Well, actually, we were there for like 12 years, not that short. But anyway, and I went over his house, and I kid you not, this was when fantasy really was starting to take off. He had the TV for the game. The Jets were playing Miami. He had TV for the game. He had another TV. He had a couple other people there too. He had another TV with Red Zone. Red Zone was the other TV. And then these guys had their phones and their laptops going at the same time. Like, this is what watching a game is nowadays, because they were watching all their fantasy players. The Red Zone had to keep going so we could see all the other games and who's scoring when. And I got to check my laptop here, and I got to look at my phone here. And meanwhile, like, hardly anybody was watching the actual game that was on the TV. They're like, dude, you got to get into fantasy. You know a lot about sports. You got to get into fantasy. I'm like, no way. That's just me. No way. I won't do it. I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it, man. I'll never do it. You'll never see me doing that stuff. Gunnar, I'll share a clip of that hit in the Discord so all our non-football player fans can see the hit. Yeah, do it. Do it. Mike White, when you see the hit, again, it's legal. Milano, with his shoulder, hit Mike White right in his chest, and he hit him hard, and White literally went like, his body went like this. Literally. He broke ribs. The man came back in the game. The man went to 10 different doctors trying not to miss games after that. I have the ultimate respect for Mike White. Anyway, when you see the hit, tell yourself, think Mahomes, Think Hurts, think Herbert, Allen, anybody like that. Anybody, Burrow, anybody like that. Think about them, because there was no flags thrown. There shouldn't have been. You hit one of those guys like that, forget it. People would freak out. Now, back in the old days, Joe Montana, Mr. Marine, I know you remember this. Joe Montana got knocked out in a playoff game against the New York Giants. Jim Burt came in with his forearm, which one forearm was like the size of that, of two of mine, and knocked him out cold. Montana threw the ball. Jim Burt hit him right under his throwing arm, right as he threw it, hit him right here. And I mean, when I tell you he upended, landed on his shoulder, the side of his head, he was knocked out cold. And you know what happened? Get him out the game and bring in the backup. The announcers weren't even shocked. That was football. That was football. And then a couple years after that, Leonard Marshall broke poor Joe Montana against the Giants. He broke Joe Montana's back. Next man up, Steve Young came in for that one. Jeff Kemp, I believe Jeff Kemp was the quarterback that came in for Montana in the first one against the Giants. You hit it in Montana. We all know that was the Brady version then. You could hit Dan Marino. You could hit any Jim Kelly. You could hit any one of those guys like that. There was not an uproar. And footy was the best in the 80s and the 90s because of the change in the game style. Yeah, in the 90s, that's when it became the AFL, right? The VFL and the AFL merged in 1990. Boom! I know I got that right, Vault. The VFL and the AFL merged in 1990. Boom! I know I got that right. Raleigh, OG cellar dweller accounted for, and our other Marine representing the basement. Mr. Marine and Raleigh, our two Marine representing the base. What's going on, Raleigh? What's happening, man? Come by tomorrow night, Raleigh. We're doing the Chiefs and the Ravens. The Yankees are getting spanked right now. Look at that. The Rangers have a runner on second and nobody out. I didn't even mention it because this is the same song every inning. Same song every inning. The Yankees do nothing at the plate. The Rangers come up and they don't go 1, 2, 3 and they're out. Nope. They don't go 3 up, 3 down. They get runners on. They work the counts. Their innings are 25 minutes. What a joke. What a joke. Our bullpen, 18 earned runs in the last 4 games. 21 runs overall, guys. 18 of them were earned in the last 4 games. 4 games. What a disgrace. And Holmes will still be closing because Aaron Boone maybe he'll do better next time, like it's a video game, like it's MLB The Show. Venus, welcome into the basement, man. Subscribe, bell notice, and like button. Subscribe, bell notice, and like button. As a Yankee fan, I know this season is already over. First round exit in the wild card. We know it. How can we go anywhere with this bullpen? This bullpen is a disgrace. And by the way, Nestor Cortez is getting sent down. Not sent. Fair ball. Here comes another run, guys. 9-2. 9-2. RBI double. That ball landed right on the line. I told you guys I have an 11 o'clock cutoff time. Why? Because I'm not watching this garbage. Every time the Rangers come up to bat, everybody's getting hits, and it's a merry-go-round on the bases. A freaking merry-go-round on the bases, man. This is a disgrace and a joke. 21 runs. Let that sink in. Now 22. 22 runs in the last 4 games, and 19 of them are now earned. 19 are earned in the last 4 games. 22 runs, 19 earned, 4 games. Here we are. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. What a joke. Marinaccio. Oh, is he allowed to throw a strike? I don't even know if we're allowed to do that. Vol, basically, VFL starting up teams in other states that had their own leagues already, national takeover, but the Victorians. That's a little more history than I knew. I was just proud that I knew it happened in 1990. Oh, ground back to Marinaccio. Can we actually throw? Wow, one of our pitchers actually fielded a play and threw somebody out. Usually they bobble the ball and everybody is safe. Joe, welcome back in. Second day for Joe in the basement. What's going on, Joe? The O's lose and we can't take advantage. Another possible loss. Tired of giving excuses. Took a lot of crap today at work with Yankee haters. Colton, California. I know Colton, California. You are you're Southern California, man, by the border of Colton, California. Lineage Logistics. That was the name, Joe, that I used to deliver to. Lineage Logistics. They are a small Walmart DC in Colton, California. I drove big rigs, man, from Dodge City, Kansas to Wilmington, California, up to Oakland, across the Sierra Nevada mountains, into Nevada, Wyoming, Nebraska, and down to Kansas and repeat. So I know that area of California very well there, Joe. And you know what? Not for nothing, Joe. The O's don't want it either. The Orioles don't want it either. The Orioles and the Yankees, nobody wants it. And then we got the Cubs all weekend. Like I said, I'll be on for the football tomorrow night, football Friday night. And we play the Cubs this week. What's going to happen when we play the Cubs? We're playing the Cubs all weekend. 2:20 starts, 2:20 in the afternoon. Well, 2:20 Eastern time starts all weekend. What's going to happen there? Oh, we got 2 outs. Are we allowed to do that? The Rangers are leaving somebody on second base. They're not going to do that, right? Aren't they going to get that guy home? Here's Langford, their second batter on the order. He's 2 for 3. And by the way, Joe, you know who else is a disgrace? Mark Leiter. Mark Leiter is a disgrace. He should be out of here. That guy comes over from the Cubs. He has a 6. Now it's even higher. But it was a 6 ERA today when he started. We trade away people for these guys at the trade deadline. Johnny, as much as I like to insult the Jets, if it wasn't for them, the AFL might have folded altogether. Very good. Super Bowl III was the most important Super Bowl for the AFL-NFL merger. People say that because I'm a Jets fan. I'm not being biased. It is true. It's true. The Jets didn't win that one. The Super Bowls were already blown out in the first Super Bowl and the second one. So the Jets winning that third one and Joe Namath guaranteeing it, that was when a guarantee was like, now everybody does it. But that was like real. I mean, the Jets beating that Colts team shouldn't have happened. Don Shula was the coach of that team, by the way. People don't know that. And also, Johnny Unitas did not play in that game. And Joe Namath didn't even throw a touchdown in that game. But we won that game. And I can say we have one Super Bowl that I never even saw. So I didn't come around till a few years after that. So in my lifetime of being a 4 decades Jet fan, I've seen 82, 98, 09, and 10. That's the closest I've ever come to a Super Bowl. Those 4 years with defenses that you think one of them would have at least made it in. The Jets they can bungle everything. They can be a joke of an organization. They don't run everything right. One thing the Jets have always done right, is the one area analysts forever have never attacked, and that's the Jets defense. The Jets defense for decades has always been top-notch. They seem to run that side of the ball very well. Everybody knows, no, you never hear analysts rip the Jets defense. Ever. Never rip the Jets defenses. It's always the offense. The offense has always been polar opposite. For once, I think we have them balanced. So, there's that. Mr. Marine, Johnny, end the night. Not worth the talk about this bum team. I know it. Joe, what player are you wearing? Oh, no. Joe, this is just a New York jersey. There's nobody on the back tonight. There's nothing. Nothing. Just a jersey. Just a jersey I saw, and I said, I want that color, but there was no number on the back. It's the only I have 2 Yankee jerseys like that. Oh, there's the guy. I was worried that the Rangers were going to leave a runner on second base. Whew. Thank goodness, man. I was getting worried because they had a runner on second. Then the Rangers got 2 outs. I'm like, you're not going to leave somebody on base, are you? We're all relieved now. The Rangers scored again. Now it's 10-2. It's 10-2 now. So for all you guys that were worried that the Rangers were going to leave somebody on base, they don't do that. And we don't do it either. We don't leave runners on base because we don't get anybody on base. So we don't have to worry about that. You passed that place, Joe. Well, there you go. Usually, Joe, there's a line of trucks waiting to get in there, too. Usually the line goes up and around the corner. Yep, that was one place, at least when I got in, they unloaded me fast. But getting in, if you had to get there early in the morning, you had to get there early. So, yeah, Lineage Logistics, because it's a Walmart DC. It's like a sublet. So I've done there. I've been to Barstow. I've been to the TA and the Petro. And come on, man. Yeah, then I'd shoot all the way down to the ports in Wilmington and get unloaded there. All those meats went over to Japan. I went out of Dodge City where the meat plants and the meat plants, they still smelled like slaughterhouses, but they're now called meat plants. No more slaughterhouses there. Meat plants. They smell the same, though. It's weird. I'll tell you what, the chicken places smell worse than any meat plant I've ever been to. The chicken, Purdue, Tyson, the chicken places smell awful. Way worse than the beef. Come on, Verdugo. Hey, we're out of the inning, but we gave up 2 more runs, 10-2. Ravens will upset KC. Yeah, I'm going for the Ravens. It's going to be nice, though, Joe, because I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm doing my Jets on Monday night, so I'll do the Ravens, Chiefs tomorrow, Philly, Green Bay Friday. I have no dog in the fight. It's going to be nice. I'm just going to do the game. We'll all BS in here about everything else. And the game, that's what we do in the basement. We talk about everything in the basement. We do. So, let me see. I think the Yankees play all weekend at 2:20. Not that it's going to matter. Yeah, 2:20 all afternoon, guys. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But you know what? Who cares? Friday, I might. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Football's gonna take over Thursday and Friday, but we'll see. Where are we at? Johnny, end the night. Not worth talking about. I'm going to end it at 11 o'clock. It should be over by then, but who the hell knows? It's bottom of the 8th inning. Or was the top of the 8th? I don't even know. Top of the 8th inning coming up. I'm telling you, it's either the game ends or I end. At 11 o'clock's my cutoff, which would be 8 o'clock for you, Joe. So where are we at? I read that. What player you? I read that. Wow, past that place. Read that. Ravens, read that. Unitas was injured but did play. Unitas came in after he didn't start because of his injury, Joe. He didn't start. But I believe, oh, come on. What was the guy that started the game? Ernest Morrill? Earl Morrill. Earl Morrill started the game, and I think the guy threw like 2 or 3 interceptions, and then Unitas came in the game. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. I know I've seen a lot of documentaries on the only Super Bowl that my team ever won, but I'm pretty sure Earl Morrill threw 2 or 3 picks, and then they put an injured Johnny Unitas in, and the Jets ended up winning. But again, I was born in the early 70s. I missed that one. So to me, it's a fairy tale. Soto with a hit. And it doesn't, you see what happens? Soto and Judge come up when no one's on. So even if Judge hits a 2-run home run, we're still behind by a ton. OG Cellar Dweller accounted for. Lockport's in the base. What's going on, Lockport? Getting ready for the football tomorrow night, brother. Loved when LT was on the Jets running the ball. I've shown this a few times. And I was so happy about it, Joe. I even got that back when he came to the team, Joe. I even got that. I've shown the other guys this, but I got it. I was very excited when LT came to the Jets. Very excited about that. Yep. The Jets have always gone after older running backs. Remember, people forget Matt Forte was on the Jets. Matt Forte was on the Jets. Do you guys remember the 49er running back, Kevin Barlow? He was on the Jets. But But the Jets have had a lot of their own great running backs anyway. Free McNeil was a monster in the 80s. He was really good running back. Curtis Martin, who we did get from the Patriots. I don't know how they ever gave that guy up. 14,000 yards in 11 seasons. I love Curtis Martin because people say, oh, well, he never had any flashy runs. The dude never fumbled, and he ran up the middle a lot. And he had hands out of the backfield. He didn't have the flashiest runs, but, man, you don't get 14,000 yards in 11 seasons by being a scrub. So, and he was fourth all-time at one point on the all-time list. I think he's dropped a lot since then. But Curtis Martin was as reliable as you can get. He's like the Marvin Harrison of running backs. Marvin Harrison, people forget how great he was. Up. Judge flew out. Well, lined out, whatever. One out, man on first. Whew. That's an You know what's funny? Lockport, they look lethargic. Dude, I turned the game on in the fourth inning. Rock and I went out to dinner. She and I went out to dinner. When I came back, I said, I'm gonna do the game tonight. It was like the fourth inning. It was 2-0 when I turned it on. But it ended up being 5-0. The inning I turned it on, they gave up 3 runs right away. And Gunner was in here. I told Gunner I shouldn't even be on. I should turn this off now. Here's Jazz, who's 0 for 3. You know what makes the loss yesterday even worse? Carlos Rodon was throwing a one-hitter through 6 innings. Carlos Rodon pitched his ass off yesterday. He gave up 1 home run on 1 hit. I think by the time he left, he had 2 hits in over 6 innings. We had a 4-1 lead, and the bullpen came in, and it was a merry-go-round on the bases. Carlos Rodon pitched his ass off yesterday. He pitched really well yesterday. But it's forgotten because our bullpen was like, hold my beer. Here we go. 10-2. I could have sworn you just said 8-2 a couple minutes ago. When did I miss the 2 runs? It's happening fast, Gunner. You got to pay attention, brother. It's happening fast. Texas is switching pitchers for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, Evaldi's done for the night. They still had their starter in the 8th inning. Mr. Marine. Johnny, when the Knicks Rangers start playing again, will you do Knicks Rangers late games ever from the other coast? I don't know, Mr. Marine. The late games are tough for me, man. You know I got a lot of health issues, man, and one of them is chronic fatigue, man. Late game. That's when I really need Lou on with me. Lou being on is great anyway. Lou should be on with me during the football season anyway. But those late night games, he always tries to get on when I do. Those are late, Mr. Marine. I'm going to try, man. Because I don't like missing those games, but I usually don't make it past halftime. There's only one LT, and his name is Lawrence Taylor. I know. I always think of it that way, too. But I know what he means. I knew what he meant when he talked about LT and the Jets. Yes, I have one. Of course. That was the man right there. Greatest linebacker ever. He redefined the position. That's what makes him the greatest linebacker of all time. You know, I don't got to be a fan of a team. I like the Giants. You guys all know the only New York team I hate is the Islanders. I will never in life go for the Islanders. Ever, 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 ever. They're the Boston Red Sox to me, the New York Islanders. That's what they are to my Rangers. I'll never go for them. But every other New York team I go for. I go for the Mets. I like to see the Mets win as long as they're not playing the Yankees. In that Subway Series during the season, Met fans hate the Yankees. I don't understand why Yankee fans hate the Mets. They have nothing to do with the Yankees unless we play in the World Series. I was going for David Wright when the last time in the World Series I wanted to see David Wright get a ring. I want to see him get a ring. I don't mind the Mets. I don't mind the Giants. And when I grew up in New York, nobody I knew was a Nets fan. They were the New Jersey Nets at the time, the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody was a Nets fan. I didn't know any Nets fans. Nobody cared about them. And then all of a sudden, when they got KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, all these, I've always been a Nets fan because they thought they were going to win the championship. I've always been a Nets fan. All these stars were at the Barclays Center, and they're sitting on the sidelines, and they're sitting courtside like they were all diehard Net fans their whole life. Well, guess what? When those three guys are gone, where are those stars now? There's no stars at the Nets games anymore. New York is a Knicks town. It's a Knicks town. It'll never be a Nets town. And I don't even hate the Nets. There's nothing to hate. There's nothing to hate about the Nets. They're a division rival. People say you hate the Islanders, Johnny. Why don't you hate the Nets? They're a division rival of the Knicks because it's never been that way. There's never been any heated moments in the playoffs. There's never been any heated moments in the stands because nobody's a Nets fan. That's why. There's diehard Islander fans, and trust me, they hate the Rangers. They hate them. There was never diehard Nets fans. There was never a rivalry amongst the fans. Nobody cares about the Nets. When Jason Kidd and Vince Carter and Kerry Kittles, remember him? And Jason, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name now. Anyway, when all those guys were in the finals, I didn't care if the Nets won. It didn't matter. They were the New Jersey Nets then. They had a good team. But, I mean, really, nobody cared. I'm going on and on too much about the Nets. Anyway, heading out, sir. My Yankees are killing me again. See you tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing your play-by-play. A lot of the site are just talking about money getting – Hey, man, you see what we do in the basement, Joe. It's just a hangout, man. We are a hangout here. I'll put on what I'm doing, and we talk about everything. There's fans of all teams in here, Joe. Much appreciated, man. Thank you for the time, man. Get other people in here, man, if you want. Lockport, yes, sir. Best defensive player ever. Remember when Gardini said Aaron Donald was better? Oh, no. You know Gardini. Listen, Gardini is very smart like the rest of us with the play. Gardini likes to stir the pot. You know he likes to stir the pot. You know, we all know that he knows Lawrence Taylor is better. And they're two different positions anyway, but still. Gardini likes to stir the pot. The guy knows what he's talking about. He's very good with the stats. You know his novels that he puts in here, the paragraphs that he puts in here. So he's Gardini likes to stir the pot. He'll deny it, but you know he does. So we know it too, man. Come on. Mr. Marine Giant, did you see Dries? Yes. And you know what's funny? Draisaitl, a player of that caliber, Edmonton, a player of that caliber. Think about how much more he would have gotten had he played baseball, basketball, or football. The superstars in hockey don't get paid like the rest of these leagues do. But he got a lot of money and it's well-deserved. Absolutely. They got to keep that guy on. Edmonton, they almost pulled off that miracle. And my guy, you guys know my personal friend that comes in here, Fuzzy Bear, Froge. He is a diehard Miami everything. He would have had a stroke if the Panthers blew that 3-0 lead. Yeah, I'll give you that. Aaron Donald is the best defensive tackle, but LT is the best defensive player ever. Yeah. Yep. He is arguably the best defensive tackle. There's been a lot of them over the course of time, but he's definitely in that conversation. And you could argue he was the best. Draisaitl got like $114 million, I think, over 6 years. Let's see. I spelled his name wrong. Can you blame me? Draisaitl. Come on, Google. You should pick up the rest. I did spell it way wrong. I mean, give me a break. It should know that I'm pretty. He's getting an annual average of $14 million a year. He'll receive $112 million throughout the life of the 8 years, $112 million. There you go. There you go. All right, Snazzy, Schnazzy, Schnoozy, Schmoozy. We'll see you later, brother. Happy birthday, man. Go out and have a good time tonight if that's what you're doing. I'm going to leave now. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. You got it, Schnazzy. We'll see you tomorrow, brother. Bruin, have a good one. Yep. Bruin, $14.8 million. Yeah, 8 years, $14 million a year. Think about that for a superstar player. A superstar in the league, He's getting $14 million a year in hockey. Hassan Reddick's holding out because he's getting $14 million. The hockey is just the fourth major sport in America, and it's the fourth sport by a long shot. It's the other three, and then hockey's like way down here when it comes to their stars getting paid. Lockport, remember when he said Gagne was better than Rivera? Oh my gosh, that one was trolling. That was trolling. What did Gagne have? Like 80 or 81 saves in a row? By the way, guys, the Yankees did nothing in the top of the eighth. It's bottom of the eighth. The Rangers have nobody on base. Can you believe it? They have nobody on base. There's one out, bottom of the eighth. There's nobody on base. I have confidence, though, that they're going to get somebody on. Wait a minute. Their first two batters got out? Wait a minute. The Rangers, wait a minute. 2 up, 2 down? I don't think I've seen that since I turned the game on in the fourth inning. McDavid's coming up for a contract, so what would he get? Yeah, this is McDavid's contract year, if I'm right. Is that right, guys? I think it's McDavid's contract year. He has to make more than Draisaitl, bro. He has to. He cannot make less than Draisaitl. He can't. That's not going to happen. I'm so glad I'm not watching this game. I know, Lamar, trust me, if I wasn't on with you guys, I would have been in bed already. But I like hanging out with you guys, man. That's why I said, let me come on. I told you guys I'm going to be Johnny Consistent and change my name from Basement to Johnny Consistent because I'm going to be on here a lot. And I'm going to be uploading videos a lot, too. I got a busy weekend coming up. Gunnar Donald got 20 sacks in a season as a defensive tackle. That's insane. You know who else did that? Joe Klecko. Joe Klecko is still the only defensive lineman to go to the All-Pro, to be an All-Pro at 3 different positions on the line. And the year before sacks became a statistic, Joe Klecko had 20 and a half sacks as a nose tackle in 1981. As a matter of fact, the Jets line. Hold on. Is that a home run? Oh my gosh, no, we caught it. The Jets defensive line in 1981, Gunnar, and anybody else that didn't know, had 66 and a half sacks, just the front 4. 66 and a half sacks. They weren't counted. It didn't count that year. But the next year, 1982, a big reason why sacks became a stat is because of the Jets sack exchange and Lawrence Taylor. That is truth. Look it up. I'm not being biased. Look it up. When and why did sacks become a statistic? They are a big reason why. But being the Jets, we still can't make a Super Bowl with a defense like that. And in 1981-82 season, the Jets lost to the Buffalo Bills 31-27 after being down 24-0 in the first half to Joe Ferguson and the Buffalo Bills. Then the Jets came all the way back just to lose 31-27. Look it up. True story. I don't even think the Jets were ever down by 24 points at any point in 1981. But they did go down 24-0 in the first half to the Bills, where I think the Jets eked out a touchdown before halftime, if I remember correctly, which made it 24-7. And we dominated the second half, but came up short, just like the Jets would do. McDavid may get $20 million a year, as he should. He'll be the next guy that needs a ring. Donald got 20. I just read that. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets $20 million a year, Marine. Neither would I. Lockport, I'll take Reggie White over Donald, but it's apples and oranges. Reggie had 21 sacks in a season. Oh, well. I mean, Mark Gastineau had 22 before Michael Strahan. We all say Strahan was given the sack record by Favre, and it takes away from what Strahan did that season. Yes, it was obvious he was given it by Favre, but it downplays what Strahan did that season. I don't think he even had 1 sack in the first 3 games that year. I don't think Strahan even had 1 sack in the first 3 games that year and broke Mark Gastineau's record. Whether that particular sack was given to him, which we all know it was, think about that. He didn't even have a sack for the first 3 games. And I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. Lockport, I'll take Reggie White over Don. This top of the 9th inning, guys. Remember I gave my 11 o'clock cutoff time? It's 10:52 according to the computer here. I may land right on 11 o'clock because this game's over. Guess what, Lockport? I'll take Bruce Smith over both of them. I'll take Bruce Smith over Reggie White. If Bruce Smith had won one Super Bowl, let alone two, it'd be a whole different conversation. But Bruce Smith falls in Bruce Smith, Dan Marino, Henrik Lundqvist, Patrick Ewing. These guys can't be counted as greats because they never won a ring. And that's really sad and really sorry. But that's why those guys don't get mentioned along with the greats. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the way it is. The sack exchange would be a lot better known had they won a Super Bowl. Telling you, that's how it is. Gunner, hockey might not be the most popular, but it's got the best playoffs. Name something better than Game 7 Stanley Cup Series. That's right. It's all a matter of opinion, but I agree. I agree. I love watching the hockey playoffs. Love it. I love watching the NBA playoffs, but I like certain matchups. Hockey, I'll watch almost any matchup. Basketball, I will watch most matchups. Most. Like, I was very interested in the Timberwolves this year. I loved watching their games. But I get your point, Gunner. Yes, I agree with you on that. And I'll take both. Baseball, I only watch the Yankees. If the Mets are in the playoffs, I'll watch them. But in the baseball playoffs, I just watch the Yankees. I don't watch anybody else. So baseball, I'm really just the Yankees. I don't really watch other games. I will watch some Mets games. But I'm talking playoffs. It's the only sport that I don't watch other teams. All right, one out. But the question is, will McDavid win a cup in Edmonton? Edmonton's a weird year. I mean, a weird team. They've had – Rockwood just woke up right on time. Edmonton is a weird team, man. They should have never gone down 3-0 to the Panthers and then came all the way back 3-3. Remember, they started out the year very slowly, but they had injuries. And then they ripped off 16 or 17-game winning streak out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they were in it. So we don't know. Volpe grounds foul. Bruin think he will win a few Stanley Cups in his playing career. I do too. Hockey players never hold out, rarely in the best sport of all four. Yeah, they never hold out. That's true. I don't know of any player that holds out. Yeah. I don't know of any player that holds out. Now, hockey's so far behind, like Johnny Gaudreau, God rest his soul. He is a marquee player in the league. Agreed? He is. He was a top-known name in the league, but it doesn't get as much national news had he played baseball, football, or basketball. If he was in one of those three sports, at the equal talent, it would have been more known, but a lot of people don't watch hockey. So a lot of people didn't know who he was, and he's one of the better players in the game. Like, a lot of people were shocked that he left Calgary and went to Columbus. Columbus is not a good organization. They're not a good team. So, and I think he was making $16 million a year. Lockport, Gunner, when is everyone going to talk about the Sabres curse? They get rid of the best player, and that player wins the cup. First O'Reilly with the Blues, and back-to-back with Eichel. Ooh, Eichel's a dirty name with you guys. Jack Eichel's a dirty name. Here's Cabrera, who gets playing time now. Where's Cabrera? Don't get me started on why Cabrera should be playing more. And you know what's funny, Lockport, with that, what you just said? I have watched sports shows and heard on sports radio shows, too, on Sirius XM. I've heard on sports radio shows that the Jets are the only team left in the four major sports that have not been to the playoffs in 13 years. The Sabres, hello, the Sabres haven't done it in 13 years. I'm not making fun of your team. I'm making fun of them. Like, that's how much hockey isn't thought about. The Sabres and the Jets are the two teams that haven't made it in 13 years. I'll tell you, a lot of analysts don't bring that up. They don't talk about it. I think some of them don't even know. So it's 3-0 on Cabrera. Lockport, didn't Edmonton get Skinner? Put money on the Oilers. If that happens, curse is real. No joke. But look at that. Look at that. Oh, Cabrera comes in the game and works a walk. Not that it matters. But it just goes with what I've been saying about Cabrera all along. Even in a 10-2 game, Cabrera works a walk with 2 outs in the ninth in an unwinnable situation, in an unwinnable game Oswaldo Cabrera works a walk and gets on base anyway. The guy doesn't quit. The guy doesn't give in. He takes advantage of his opportunities. It's not that they're losing 10-2. Cabrera looks at it as he wants playing time. He worked the walk. That goes. I've been saying this all along about this kid, man. When you give him an opportunity to play, even at the end of the game, in a meaningless game now, the dude works a walk with 2 outs in the ninth, but you just give up and swing at everything and go home, which we know some players do that. I hate the MLB playoffs format. Each round is different when it comes to how long the series is. Just make them all best of 7. I agree with that, Gunnar. How can you have a one-game playoff? What if the other team has a far better team, but this other team for one game has the far better pitcher? That's what it'll come down to. I know, Rocco. Rocco's asking me why I'm even looking at this game. Well, Trevino's up, so it should be over with him. He doesn't get hits. It's already 0-2. The Blues. Oh, the Blues. Yes, sir. Never mentioned that name, Lockport. Yeah, Gunnar hates Jack Eichel. I know most Buffalo fans do, but I think Gunnar hates him more than everybody else. He mentions his name. It's like listening to Trouba with John Tortorella. And I don't blame him for that. I understand because of what he did to Kreider. I don't dislike Tortorella as much as Trouba does, but I get it. And that Jack Eichel is Gunnar's John Tortorella. Lockport, curse is real for New York Rangers. One Stanley Cup in 84. Ugh, just saying. In 94, but I know what you mean. Yep. Gunnar, Skinner did join the Oilers. Yes, he did, and he went to the Stanley Cup with them. Bruin, I hadn't been that pissed since 2013, and I'm still bitter about it 5 years later. Yep. No doubt. Lockport, Oilers win the Cup. The Sabres curse is legit. Bingo. Measy, welcome into the basement. Subscribe. Bellows, hit the like button. Every Yankee fan loves Jazz Chisholm. What a freaking great trade. And we got the guy for 2 more years. It's not even like he's a rental. We got him for 2 more years, and we love him on this team, and he loves being on this team. So, yeah, we love Jazz Chisholm. He has been a spark plug for this team, even in a disgusting game like this. Dude, guys, they're switching pitches. This game doesn't even matter anymore. It's 2 outs. We have 2 men on. I'm not staying up anymore. Bruin, I would be too. Yep. I don't blame any of you guys for that. And Rocco, of course, wants to say hello. Basement mascot in the house. He was asleep all this time. See, his medications is working. His arthritis is hurting, but his meds are kicking in. Look at his gray. He's gray. We're gray. We're all good. We are the cripples in the family, me and Rocco. But he's got to go out. He just woke up. Oh, that was the pitching coach. We're not making a change. That's Mike Mussina. Mike Mussina. Mike Maddox. Mike Mussina. Mike Maddox is the pitching coach for Texas, who is Greg Maddox's brother. So Glaber's up now with 2 outs. Gunnar, my hatred of Eichel started after his comments of, yep, I know it. Trust me, I know it. All right, Mr. Marine, stay safe and healthy. Mr. Marine, we will see you tomorrow night for the Ravens and the Chiefs. I will be sporting my Jets jersey tomorrow night. Stress-free game tomorrow night, guys. Stress-free game. Stress-free game tomorrow night. Measy, you know I'm going to subscribe to my boy. I'm going to tune in every time Jazz on Hell of Game, just so you know every dog has their days. Oh, yeah. Rocco has been around. He's almost 14. Rocco here, almost 14 years old. He's got arthritis, but his organs, everything else is good. Vet said he's healthy in other aspects, but yeah. And every dog has his day for sure in sports too. Let's go, Glaber. Strike 2, down to their last strike. Volt, I'm off, Johnny. Got to go make some lunch. See you on the next one. Definitely, Volt. Look out for my reviews of the footy playoffs this weekend. Have a good night, guys. Night to the basement mascot. Yep, we're out of here, guys. Good night. I'm not staying on for it. I'll watch this last out as I'm getting Rocco ready to go outside. Basement mascot rules tonight. We will see you all tomorrow night. Ravens, Chiefs, 8 o'clock, 8:15, whatever it is. And that's it, guys. Yes, I will be live tomorrow night. I'll be live tomorrow night for Chiefs, Ravens. I'll be live Friday night for Eagles, Packers, and then I will be live for my New York Jets Monday night against the 49ers. I'll watch one more pitch here, and then I'm out. Glaber fouls off again. All right, guys, we are out of here. I will see you all tomorrow night. Much appreciated. Hit the like button, subscribe, bell notice. You guys know the deal. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Peace.